How's it going, Laser Bruce's up? I'll be Sixkilla and welcome back to the Zodiac Trial. We're going to continue on from where we were heading in the last episode, where we are the traitor, or one of the traitors, and we're working together with Rooster to try and bring down the whole team, because for some reason we seem to think now that we deserve to live more than they do. So we've got a choice to make. Because we got blood on ourselves when we were killing Snake. So let's go roll up the pant leg, I suppose. Surely nobody's been paying that much attention to me, right? It's totally natural for someone to have the bottom of their pant leg rolled up a bit. This was highly risky. If someone ever noticed this and asked me to roll the leg down, I'd be totally screwed. And there was no way that would happen. If I did, I probably would have already been under a fatal amount of suspicion. So I rolled my pant leg and prayed. Over by the closet, Rooster had finished his tasks. Okay, now what? Now I'm going to need you to strip, Rooster. What? Mouse, you dirty bird, you. This is the plan, I swear. The plan involves you perving on a corpse? I mean, I get it. No judgment. Everyone's got their thing, but this is not my thing. And if it was, there should be some judgment. Look, here's what I'm thinking for the plan. We kill somebody a bit further down the hallway. Next, you go to a nearby classroom. You witness Snake walking by the classroom and then later discover the body. But we just killed Snake. You'd be lying. Oh, right, I knew that. Also, can we call it acting? Sure, fine, yeah, okay. I guess, if you must. You act like you saw Snake, and you mentioned he was wearing his rubber snake mask. You know, the one we all woke up with. But then, we'd find Snake's body in this room. At first, it doesn't make sense, but we'd find Snake's clothes and his mask discarded nearby. Say, this room. Now, seeing this, what would they assume? I don't know why I'm asking you this. The assumption would be that somebody killed Snake and dressed up as him on purpose to try and frame him. That puts suspicion on the people who could pull off Snake's disguise. Bunny and Dog, primarily. I thought I'd imagine a few other suspects might be floated. Oh, okay. But wait, couldn't I also dress like Snake? Wouldn't I also be a suspect? No, you couldn't see yourself. But what if they think I'm lying? If they solve the disguise mystery, they won't even think twice about your possible guilt. So long as them finding Snake in his clothes is natural enough. The idea that you planted the evidence to corroborate the story of you being lied to wouldn't even enter their heads. In their eyes, you would be the mark, not the scammer. I see. Understanding, Rooster began to strip Snake down. You can leave his underwear on, by the way. I know, I'm not a pervert, I'm not you. Rooster, I kid. I actually now get why we're doing this. After all, every good lie stems from the truth. The trick to telling the truth. The trick to it is tell the truth for 90% of it and then tweak right a bit at the end. Rooster, you realize we're doing this to create evidence, not to help us lie better. Oh, I know. Anyway, I suppose the next natural question would be where to hide Snake's clothes. Oh my god, we can have a lot of options here, and that worries me. In a paint can. I know, we can dunk the evidence in a paint can. If I was a killer, that's where I'd hide it. If I really didn't want to be found out. And there's a bunch of paint cans around here. Sounds good to me. Here, his clothes and his mask. Rooster handed a bundle to me. He'd give me the kitchen knife as well. They would have discarded the weapon here, likely. Alright. He also handed over a bloody knife. I took the bundle, opened up a paint can and submerged all the stuff so it was out of sight. That should do it. Excellent. Crime scene successfully forged. Next up is victim number 2. Grab some random heavy statue to use as a murder weapon. On it. Rooster looked around, found a suitable weapon. Head down the hallway. I saw a staircase which leads to a side exit further, just a bit further down. I'll look for somebody else and lure them over here. And you handle the bloody business once more. On it, I'll be waiting in ambush. Godspeed. Feels wrong to say that in context, but the sentiment is appreciated. Yeah, I'm sure God wishes you luck on your murder spree. With that, we split up. I wandered the first floor in search for a suitable patsy. And soon enough, I found just the target. Sheep. Poor Sheep. She seemed so innocent. Operative word, seemed. Everyone was brought here for a reason. Still, I couldn't help but feel the fire of guilt grow in intensity lying to her. She was awfully gullible. Getting her to follow me to the designated spot almost took no effort at all. I lured her there, and right as we got near the staircase, once again Rooster didn't hesitate to carry the deed out. With one solid swing, Sheep hit the floor. I didn't watch, but it was pretty obvious what had happened. That felt dirty. It had to be done. Oh, I know. But I didn't like that one bit. Killing an old creep like Snake, I could work with that. Killing a pure soul like Sheep, that's like a month of nightmares at least. She's not a pure soul. Oh, but she was. I could see it in her eyes, and her beautiful hair. Okay, dude, whatever you say. Please don't turn into a creep on me. What's creepy about giving a girl some compliments? Giving a girl you just murdered compliments. I see your point. Praise withdrawn. Anyways, we're now at 1 kill each, so that's something. We're not going back to that. We need to focus on preparing the next steps. What else is there to do? Well, we need to decide some things. First of all, just to be clear, you know your story, right? Yeah, I know. I've got it. What's the story? I'm searching through this classroom, finding like a trinket, a second what? Just leave out the brags. They're going to invite suspicion. Okay, geez. I'm doing average at searching in a classroom when I see Snake walk by. You see Snake? Yeah, that was the story, right? Are you sure it's Snake? Hell yeah, I'm sure. No, you're not. He's wearing his mask, right? Oh, right, I should mention that. Honestly, forgetting for a second would probably be in character. Just remember to say it at some point. Right. I'm thinking about getting you a witness, to make it seem more believable. A witness? Right. You get someone to search the classroom with you. You'd be the only one to see Snake, of course, but just having someone around when you see it would make the story more believable. Oh, then we should do it. But bringing in somebody else like that would be risky. We can't control their behavior and it might end up causing more trouble. Okay, then we shouldn't do it. Still, if it worked out, it would do wonders for your believability. I'm confused. Should we do it or not? Rooster, I'm saying there are risks associated with doing this and risks associated with not doing it. Okay, and I'm telling you, as the thinky one, which is our best option. Okay, I'm going to save again. Although I might have already fucked it up with the last choices, I honestly don't know. To be fair, I've got no idea. I'm just going to save here. Get a witness and see what happens. A witness will help a lot. Let's get one. Great. That brings up a new problem. If someone is with you, you're going to need a natural reason to go check out the crime scene. Can I just say that I wanted to go check on what Snake was doing? Maybe, but I don't know how believable that would be. It would be best if you heard the noise that drew you two out here. Like a crash or something. That would be great. If something sounded like murder, that'd give me an alibi for the crime, solidifying the story further. Sure, but to make that sound, I'd probably have to do it. I could push Sheep down the stairs. That'd likely do it, but what's with the hesitation? If you guys came right after, I could only get so far from the crime scene. I'd probably end up being in close proximity, and thus would end up a suspect. Oh, come on, I've been doing all the heavy lifting so far. I mean with the actual murders, and the star testimony and whatnot. You should get your feet wet in the whole murder plot's waters. It'd be fun. Oh my god. Another what? How many freaking questions is there going to be in this one? Fine, I'll risk it. I will decidedly not be. However, I don't see much choice in the matter. If it helps our odds, I say we do it. Great, then we're decided. It appears we are. The dice are cast, so to speak. Let's see if we had a winning roll. And just like that, we put the plan into action. Rooster, for his part, went to look for something to search the area with. Meanwhile, I hid in a classroom right next to Sheep's body. Soon enough, I heard Rooster and Pig talking in the nearby classroom. It was go time. I walked over to Sheep's body and with some hesitation pushed it down the stairs. Then I immediately headed back to the classroom further down the hallway. After pausing a beat or two, I walked in after Rooster and Pig had already made a scene. From there, the entire group was called for, and slowly began to gather around the crime. Everyone was panicked, and very sad at the death. Horse in particular looked like he was barely holding his rage in. It was very troubling, very tragic. How tragic? To most people. For my part, I just tried my best to play the part of a grieving, scared girl. Rooster volunteered the story we'd concocted, and Pig for her part verified what she could. Ox listened in with a very focused look on his face. He was in full investigative mode. So Snake walks toward this direction. A bit later, a body shows up, and he's not even around? Where could he be? Well, in fairness, it's not like we have everybody. There are still a few people in the further areas of the school still investigating, blissfully unaware of all this. Should we try and go get them? We will in a bit, but for now, let's not try to crowd too many people around the scene. That can lead to issues. And Rooster, you were with Pig at the time this happened. Yes, sir. We were looking around together. Yeah, Rooster was with me when he saw Snake. Although I didn't see him myself. But you heard the crashing noise a bit later. Right, that's what drew us to the scene. Okay, that all checks out. Done with his interrogation, Ox walked over to the body and leaned in to look closer. Trying to look helpful, I followed him, bent over and looked down too. It appears that Sheep was struck from the side. She was likely just walking by when the assailant clonked her with that statue nearby. You mean this thing? Dog walked over to the statue and tried picking it up. Don't tamper with evidence. I'm investigating. This is what investigating looks like. Oh, really? And what keen insights are you picking up on right now? Statue's heavy. Fascinating. Anyway, there's not a lot to the crime. It seems pretty open and shut. That the killer just hit her on the head with the statue, then fled. Mouse, you were searching in a nearby classroom, weren't you? Yeah, why? I just think it's curious. Hold on, you're not suspecting me, are you? I'll lay off her horse. That statue's too heavy for a girl of her stature to effectively use as a weapon. I mean, she could probably lift it and use it if needed, but it'd certainly be unwieldy. She'd generally opt for something like a knife. Besides, there's a staircase right near the scene of the crime, which means it would have been easy for the killer to slip away without being spotted. But they were spotted, weren't they? Well, I think there's one mystery on everyone's minds. And what's that, Rooster? Why on earth did Snake walk over to the scene of the crime? A true enigma. Well, Rooster, I think we were all assuming that's because he was the killer. Oh, so just because he happens to walk to a scene where there's a dead body, he made the dead body? Yes? Tisk, tisk, tisk. Bunny, you've fallen into one of those oldest logical fallacies around. Causation does not equal correlation. There are many possible explanations for Snake's movements. For example, perhaps he was a vampire. Rooster, hey, no, hold on, give it a second. Very creepy, ambiguous, old, knew a lot of things he shouldn't know. I think he's got a vampire bingo going. He was luring to the scene by following the sweet, sweet smell of blood, and it explains where he went. When he heard the people coming, he simply turned into a cloud of fog, as a vampire might. Well, okay, I appreciate the thought, Rooster. This vampire angle might be a possibility to look at later. No, it isn't. It's stupid. Don't humor him. Rooster, could you please take this seriously? I am. Or are you some sort of non-believer? I beg of you to shut up. I beg of you. I'm just saying, if we're dealing with vampires, we've got to be prepared for it. I'm not seeing a stake on any of you. Would a vampire have grey hair? I thought their whole deal was that they were like eternally young or something. Pfft, that doesn't prove anything. Snake could have been dyeing his hair. To make him look older? Yeah, it gives him a real wizened look. Well, then that raises a question. Do the carpets match the drapes? Good question. Bad question. The worst question. The anti-question. You guys realize we're standing in front of a dead body, right? Allegedly dead. This was a perfectly good investigation. It was fine. What happened? Rooster happened. I had to admit, I was surprised. I'd secretly been kind of worried that Rooster wouldn't be able to hide what we'd done, but he was acting like normal. Even more so than myself, really. I guess he was a better actor than I gave him credit for. Actually, Rooster, there is something odd about your testimony. You never mentioned that Snake was carrying the statue. It's because I didn't see him carrying it. You didn't? In fairness, I only kind of caught the back of him. And even then, only from the side. It's heavy. But not that large a statue. He could have easily been holding it, and I would have missed it. Very well then. Does anyone know where the statue came from? There's an art room not too far from here. I would think it came from there. Okay, let's all investigate over there. And like that, the group headed over to the nearby art room. So what are we doing in here? Just looking for anything out of place? The group spread out throughout the room. Someone needed to open the closet. If it took too long, Rooster was probably going to step in. However, lucky for us, Bunny opened it himself without any prompting. When he did, out fell Snake's stripped corpse, to the shock of everyone. The room was once again in chaos, at the discovery of another dead body. Sheep's death was no longer an isolated incident, but the beginning of a pattern. Everyone here suddenly had to ask themselves, am I next? Most everyone here at any rate. Before too long though, the investigation began once more. And there goes our prime suspect. Because of course we can't just have an open and shut case. Life never gives out freebies like that, not when you're on a losing streak like this. I'm just confounded by the state of this corpse. I mean, why strip the man? Why indeed? Well, glass half full. Now we can check that earlier question pretty easily. I thought we dropped that. What gave you that impression? Okay, correction. I had hoped we dropped that. It's clear he was stabbed to death. I mean, even I noticed that. So shouldn't there be blood around here? There is, on the floor right here. It's been wiped away, but poorly. With everyone focused on the immediate crime scene, there was no way that they were going to find the last bundle of evidence they needed to solve it. Guess I'd handle it. I harmlessly wandered over to a nearby paint can and began to look close at it. Then I bent down and put my hands on the can. I fished out a bundle of who knows what covered in paint. Hey guys, look what I found. What is it? I'm not quite sure. Let's see if I can get the paint off. I wiped as much of the paint off the evidence as I could. Looks like we know where Snake's clothes are. And here's Snake's mask. And here's a kitchen knife. The knife is probably what killed Snake. Mouse, where'd you find all this again? It was in a paint can. How'd you even notice it? A bit of something was sticking out, so it caught my attention. Okay then. But what could this mean? Like, why is it there? Rooster saw Snake walk over to where Sheep was found, right? If he killed Sheep, then who killed him? It could have been anyone in this group. It had to be someone still missing. Horse, are you suggesting this murder took place while we were gathered around Sheep's body? I think it's an assumption that Snake killed Sheep just because he showed up there. Maybe he saw the murderer killing Sheep and then he was silenced. If that was the case, why would the crime scene be all the way over here? Dog's probably right. I have to imagine that there could only be one person capable of this cruelty. The damn killer murdering Snake, then Sheep? Now that's interesting. Mouse, why do you think they killed Snake first and not the other way around? Fuck. Seriously, how bad at this could I be? But it's fine, I can recover. Just need to think fast. Plausible excuse. Well, points to Snake being killed first. Oh my god, another save. Jesus. Too many. The weapons. Yeah, probably the weapons, because, like, the knife was the most effective weapon, right? Think about the weapons used in each crime. The kitchen knife comes from the cafeteria and used on the victim found in the art room. The statue comes from the art room and was used on the victim found in the hallway. When you look at it from that perspective, the order of events seems pretty obvious. The killer brought the knife to the art room, killed, left the knife, took the statue, killed, and left the statue. The alternative would be rather odd. I mean, the killer brought the statue from the art room, killed, left the statue, got a knife, then returned to the art room that they'd got the statue from, killed, and then left the knife? Well, you're definitely making some assumptions here. But you're right, it would make sense if Snake was killed first. Am I the one that's still weirded out by the fact that our killer is some sort of dirty perv? I mean, we practically have a room full of detectives at this point. Is nobody going to point out what that means? We're thinking about it, Rooster. We're just also stumped by it. It doesn't seem to have any purpose, at least none that we can see. It's all bullshit, right? Huh? Rooster's story, as well as this evidence. The more I look at it, it's a load of bullshit. When you think about it, two people stand out as far more suspicious than the others. Rooster and Mouse. Oh? I agree. Rooster, shut up. Ox, what are you talking about? What do you mean we're suspicious? Is it not obvious? There are a number of things that I could point out. The fact that neither of you have any alibi whatsoever. How you managed to find Snake's clothes in a bucket of paint. How Rooster saw Snake walk by but not Pig. How you were nearby when the noise that drew them to the crime scene. But to belabor the point would be a waste of time. The bottom line is this whole thing seems rather showy to me. Ox, everything you said can be easily explained. With everyone's attention on me, nobody noticed Rooster pick up the kitchen knife on the table with the other evidence. With everyone's attention on me, Bunny wasn't on guard enough to realize Rooster's growing killing intent. With everyone's attention on me, Rooster was able to get a running start on everyone before they realized that he had just slit Bunny's throat. It wasn't much of a head start though, as only moments later everyone started chasing after him, everyone with one exception. Horse stayed in the room and locked eyes with me. He glared. Now I don't know anything about... Before I could even finish the first objection, Horse grabbed my arm and pulled me closer. He put me in a sleep hold. There was no way I could resist. I don't know if he killed me then and there, or if I died sometime after that, but I do know that after going under from Horse's grasp, I wouldn't wake up again. Two of diamonds. Getting away with murder isn't as easy as it's made out to be. It's the little things that ended up getting to you. Mishandle a murder and you might find yourself going through a whole world of trouble just to tie up loose ends. If Mouse makes minor mistakes, sharp eyes will catch you soon enough. Alright, well we need to go right back, I guess. And pick different choices. Obviously, the biggest mistake I did was be the one to make the noise, right? We needed some other option. But let's see if there's some better options we can pick here. Alright, let's roll up the pant leg. Let's do the closet drawer. We need something that they're likely to find, but something that'd be a good hiding spot for a rushed killer. I guess the closet drawer works well enough, right? I mean, if it was the killer, that'd probably be good enough in a pinch. Sounds good to me. Here, it's clothes and the mask. You give me the kitchen knife as well. Alright. Shove it in the desk, that should do. Successfully forged. Now, we are going to get a witness. But I'm not going to be the one to make the noise. Keep distance. Rooster, be serious. It's too risky for me to be caught near the scene like that. I trust you to make up some good reason as to why you'd leave the classroom. Fine. If you want me to do all the work, I could probably work something out. That's what I like to hear. So we're all decided? It appears we are. The dice are cast, and here we go again. And just like that, we put the plan into action. Rooster, for his part, went to look for someone to search this area with him. Meanwhile, I searched an area far away from where the body would be found. Soon enough, I heard commotion begin to arise. Rooster had drawn the group's attention towards the body. I joined in and stood by the newly discovered body. I don't understand what made you go out and check on him, Rooster. Call it my primal instinct. Your primal instinct? I have a nose for danger. I can smell blood. Just from the manner in which Snake walked, I knew for sure he was up to something. I mean, what, wearing that mask and anything? Can he spell sinister? Done with his interrogation, Ox walked over to the body. Please let it work out this time. I harmlessly walked over to some... Oh my god, we're gonna do it again? In one of the cabinets I found the bundle of evidence I'd left, so I grabbed it and called out to the others. Guys, look what I found. What is it? Looks like we know where Snake's clothes are. And here's Snake's mask and a bloody kitchen knife. This knife is definitely what killed Snake. Mouse, where'd you find all this again? I was trying to be helpful, so I was looking around the scene. I opened some cabinets and this was stuffed in one of them. Gotcha, good work. But what could this mean? Like, why is it there? Rooster saw Snake walk over to where Sheep was found, right? Okay. The weapons. I believe I figured it out. You have? Yes, thinking about it, there's only one sequence of events that makes all this make even a lick of sense. The only thing I can think of is the fact that Rooster seeing Snake was not a mistake, but rather a function. Now this is an interesting proposal. Do go on. Snake was indeed the first victim. Our killer murdered them, with this kitchen knife. But that wasn't all, they were out for blood. In case it's not obvious, our killer is likely one of the traitors. They plan to kill everyone and escape alone. And so they came up with a plan. If they can get people to think Snake was the murderer, and then vanish Snake, we'd all have a common enemy. Snake would be the boogeyman, the unknown threat hiding somewhere in the skull. They could blame all future killings on him, but to do that they need to see Snake by the crime. So they took Snake's mask and his clothes and dressed up as him. I don't know exactly what happened next. Maybe they killed Sheep with the statue first and just waited for a time when they could be spotted walking to the crime. Maybe they really walked with the statue by Rooster, happened to see Sheep and clonked her there. Whatever the case, they set up Snake with the disguise. However, they'd have to join up with the group soon enough to avoid suspicion. So when they doubled back to the art classroom, they abandoned their disguise as fast as they could, then joined the rest of us. That's crazy. There's no way something like that could really happen, right? No, I think Ox is right. It all adds up when you think about it. In that case, I think we can narrow our killer suspects down to 2. We can? Of the people that could plausibly imitate Snake with a mask on, there are only 3 in this building. Rooster was already accounted for by Pig. That leaves Dog and Bunny. The killer has to be one of you 2. That's absurd, ridiculous. I mean, Ox, you're really grasping at straws here, don't you think? I think the theory makes sense. You do? By the way, I should have mentioned earlier, I have an alibi for the crime. What? You do? I thought searching alone might be a bad idea, so I tagged along with Horse, much to his annoyance. Horse, can you confirm this? Indeed. It is regrettable, but Dog cannot be the killer. Well then I guess that just leaves one person left. I knew Bunny was suspicious, I never trusted that phony smile of his. A plastic man, the type to kill in cold blood. Hey now, you can't be serious, alright? This is absurd. You can't arrest someone on such flimsy reasoning. This isn't a court of law, Bunny. This is a death game where we need to make hard decisions. In my opinion, Ox has raised reasonable doubt that you're the killer. So we can't just let that go. What should we do? I mean, even if he's suspicious, we can't just kill him off. Right? I know. There's some jump rope in the gym. Why don't we tie him to a chair and leave him in the cafeteria? That seems a sensible enough arrangement. Sensible enough, that's not even remotely. Bunny began to back away, but before he could put any distance, Horse grabbed a hold of his arm. You do not get to flee that easily. Oh, come on, Bunny. Why are you resisting if you got nothing to hide? You're right, you're totally right. Honestly, in high-tension situations like that, it's natural for people to reach incorrect conclusions. I can't say that you're not making a mistake, but if the group thinks it's for the best, I'd be happy to be confined. Then it's settled. I'll go get the rope. But before we knew it, Bunny was tied up in a chair, left in the cafeteria. It was a funny sight, if you forgot the circumstances. He certainly didn't look amused. Well then, I suppose we should just get back to it then. Yeah, we sure lost a whole bunch of time here, didn't we? The others should still be working, right? They can still pick up our slack. Let's plan to regroup and recount our minor trinkets in 2 rounds' time. Got it? Everyone nodded their heads in agreement, and like that everyone split up and returned to searching for minor trinkets. Well, almost everyone. 2 people only walked briefly away from the cafeteria, right before turning around and heading back to where we just were. Ah, Mouse, glad to see we're on the same wavelength. Indeed. That went about as well as could be expected. Huh? I have to give you credit, Mouse. They really took that story, hook, line and sinker. Worked like a charm. Ah, we got lucky. Things could have gone wrong in so many different ways. Hold on, you two are the killers? And Circle gets the square. Nice working on picking up on those context clues, buddy. Rooster, don't be a dick to him. We're doing all this because we have to. If we start enjoying it, you'll really become irredeemable. Not for this guy. Trust me. I knew his deal before we even got abducted. I'm not going to have any sympathy for this prick. Oh? Long story. Not really the time for it. Maybe when we get out of here? Sympathy? Hold on, you two aren't really considering killing me, are you? Them's the breaks, Bunny. I really am sorry about this, but you know, you're all tied up there. It's about as good an opportunity as we're going to get. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Guys, let's just think about this for a minute. Whichever one of you has the clever personality, you can win with two other people, right? I'm useful, I'm a cop. I know how to deal with situations like this. You just reconsider your current position and I'll join your side. Honest. And you're gonna need someone with my skills if you want to take down someone like Horse, someone like Tiger. So just ditch the dumb one and help me out. Well, Rooster, he makes a compelling argument. Maybe I should make him my new partner. Hey, are you serious here? Don't be stupid, he'll just hand you over to the group as soon as he gets free. Mouse, don't tell me you're falling for this. Easy there, I was just messing with you. Oh right, I knew that. What do you mean you're just messing with him? Mouse, you can trust me, I swear. I don't think I want to work someone willing to sacrifice the entire group, if I'm being honest. You're willing to sacrifice the entire group? Yeah, and I wouldn't want to work with me either. Alright, enough chitter chatter. People could walk in any moment. Mouse, after you? What do you mean after me? You're the one killing him, right? Why would I be the one killing him? I already did Snake and Sheep, that's 2 for me and 0 for you. You should start pulling your weight around here. That makes no sense. Yeah, it doesn't. Since you're already used to killing, you should keep doing it. Even if I'm complicit in all this, I want to go as long as I can without physically murdering anybody. Oh, come on, that's a bunch of nonsense. It is nonsense. Shut up, you. Rooster turned and kicked Bunny in the shin. Anyway, Bunny's already bound up right for you. This is a free kill. It's the middle space on a bingo card. This is the perfect opportunity to get accustomed to it in case you need to do it yourself later. Okay, how about rock, paper, scissors? Rock, paper, scissors? Fine, but I'll have you know I'm the rock, paper, scissors master. 3, 2, 1. Oh my god. Fine, I'm gonna save. I want you to do it, I don't want to do it. Yuck. You bastard. Always scissors. Did I pick scissors? I don't even know what I picked. God damn it. Ha. Paper never loses. God damn it. Yeah, whatever. You probably cheated or something. But fine, I'll do it. Rooster approached Bunny. Rooster, please. You don't want to do this. I can get you Bunny's pleas were interrupted when Rooster wrapped his hands around Bunny's throat. I turned away. This wasn't going to be a pleasant sight. There was sounds of struggling and an awful choking noise. Then after a disturbingly long time, I didn't hear anything. You done yet? Yeah, I'm done, you baby. You can look now. I turned over and sure enough, Bunny had gone limp in the chair. That's 1.5 kills on my soul. Well, that was unpleasant. You should probably get out of here now. We would be bad to be seen with the body. Hold on, Mouse. We're not just going to leave things like this. Oh? For some reason, Rooster walked over to the kitchen. He returned with another knife. What are you going to do to desecrate... What, are you going to desecrate the body? Seriously? Are you kidding me? I'm not some monster. Instead of Bunny's body, Rooster began cutting up the jump rope tied around him. What are you doing? Helping Bunny escape. Escape? Look, if Bunny just sits here dead, then he's another victim. But if he gets out of these ropes and escapes, he's still a suspect. Oh, I get you. It's oddly smart, Rooster. Oddly? I'm filled with great ideas. For instance, you know how when you want to watch a TV show you're... Okay, less pitching, more murder cover-up, okay? Yes, ma'am. As much as I don't like Rooster, his dialogue is brilliant. It's so funny. It's like working with Patrick Stir. Rooster finished cutting off the ropes and freed Bunny's corpse from the chair. It took a bit of work, but he ended up dragging it into the nearby restroom. After that was dealt with, Rooster and I put some distance between us and the cafeteria. We went to a hallway on the second floor, a hallway with 3 classrooms in a row. We entered the one furthest down the hall. It looked like a normal classroom. Textbooks, desks, chairs and the like. Funnily enough, there were a number of Hot Wheels and a little bucket on the teacher's desk. But that was about as weird as it got. There were also a number of dioramas sitting on the windowsills. Most looked like normal school projects. However, one of them jumped out at me. Huh. What's this? Z Abadi. Writing it down. That's a name. Right? Hey, this picture looks kind of like Tiger. It's Tiger. We needed Tiger's name as well. So now we got Ox's name, I think, which is Davis, and we got We don't really have Tiger's first name, because her first name is Z something something something. A baddie. That's a pain. We got her last name. You're correct. The project was done on Tiger. Comparing it with other projects, I immediately realized this wasn't like the others. This is a clue. But not in the traditional sense. The diorama talked about the Olympian, but not about their athletic abilities. It talked about the case of her dead mother, who fell over a baddie's balcony. The court case reached the verdict, justified self-defense. However, there were other pictures and documents attached to the board. A picture taken on a phone of some knife. A picture of Tiger shaking hands with somebody in a suit. A history of bank transactions. At the bottom, in big bold text, Brian had written out his point. Conclusion. Zia baddie equals murderous client. Does that mean killer? I'm gonna write killer next to her name with a question mark. The murderous part I could understand. Context clues and whatnot. What was throwing me off was the word client. Reese, so what do you make of all this? Seems a little dark for a school project, don't you think? Why do I bother with you? Still, Tiger seems real scary looking at all this. Not at all like she seems now. Indeed, I guess most people here are hiding something like this. And you aren't? No. Me being here is a total mistake. A mistake? Long story. Anyway, what about you? Do you know why you're here? What? No. Rooster, we're partners now. I've seen you do worse, you can tell me. Well, if I'm being honest, I have an inkling of an idea. I'm pretty sure Brian's pissed about my parents, not me. Your parents? I don't really want to get into it. Why wouldn't he just kidnap them? That's not really an option anymore. Oh. Yeah, well, I'm not saying I'm a saint or anything, but speaking totally honest, I don't think I did anything that would get Brian to bring me here. If anything, I think I'd be more on his side than anything else. You know, it's ironic. If we really were the two most innocent people here, and we were the ones who ended up having to kill the others, it would be. I wonder if that was intentional. Kill the others? At some point, Pig had walked into the classroom. She must have overheard some of our conversation. Oh, that. Mouse and I were talking about an online game. An online game? Yeah, we just realized that we knew each other through the game. And we were talking about our guildmates, how that... Mid-sentence, Rooster rushed over to Pig and wrapped his hands around her throat. She tried shouting out, and I couldn't have that, so I ran up with Rooster and covered her mouth with my hands. It felt horrible, Rooster strangling her while I covered her mouth. I couldn't look right at the sight. I turned my head and just pushed down. Eventually the struggle died down. Rooster and I stepped back and Pig lay on the floor motionless. We were both breathing heavily. God, what shit timing, right? I didn't have time to shoot the shit with Rooster. This is an unplanned panic kill. The type people got caught doing. Instantly I peeked out of the classroom to see if anyone was around. I didn't see anyone, but I heard Dog's voice. He was having a one-sided conversation with somebody, and he was getting closer. I leaned back in and quickly filled Rooster in. Dog's coming. He's coming soon. He has company. We're screwed. I'll try to distract them. Got it. Without another word, I left the room and walked a couple of steps forwards. When Dog turned the corner, I was just standing outside the classroom furthest from the one I was just in. And thank God, because he was walking with Horse. Seriously, what shit luck. One of the few people we couldn't deal with. If it was just Dog, well, we could have shut him up by ourselves. But Horse? He's caught us now. If he caught us now, we'd be screwed. Quickly, I needed to stall. Hey Dog, Horse, funny seeing you. What are you two doing over here? Good to run into you, Mouse. Hard at work trinket hunting, right? That's the idea at any rate, though I haven't had much luck yet. I feel that. Anyways, Horse and I were searching together. Actually, Pig was also searching with us, but she went up ahead down this hallway. Did you two happen to run into her? You have to be shitting me. No, I haven't seen her around this way. Oh? That's odd. This hallway seems kind of like a dead end. There are only 3 classrooms. Well, I don't know what to say. I've yet to see her. Dog's eyes squinted and he looked at me up and down. He was suspecting me, wasn't he? Shit. I couldn't do anything suspicious at this juncture. If those two walk into the room with Pig's body, there's no way to weasel out of that. Horse would kill me, no question. Even if I could get away, Horse would report to the group, and I'd be really screwed. I think I'll look around for her if you don't mind. I did mind. After you. I gestured to the classroom I stood beside. Anything to keep him out of the deadly classroom for a second more. Following my suggestion, Dog walked into the classroom and Horse followed shortly after. I didn't know what to do other than stay there. But just staying there in silence felt dirty. So I talked and talked. Not about anything useful, just about what I thought about the game, suspicions, Brian, where trinkets could be found, anything. Honestly, it probably made me seem more suspicious than less, but its main function was to relieve my own stress. Dog and Horse didn't really engage in the conversation at all. Horse stayed by the door while Dog searched all over the classroom. He looked in places that wouldn't make sense if Pig was alive, which meant he was onto me. After searching the classroom wordlessly, Dog walked out into the next classroom. Horse and I followed. Again, he looked around. Nothing to find. After he'd searched, he left and walked to the last classroom. The one Pig and Rooster were in. I didn't really want to follow him, but Horse was right behind me. He was watching me. He was on guard for me. It'd be more suspicious not to do so, so I gulped and walked into the room. There, I didn't see anything. Rooster must have hid, but Dog would sniff them out. He looked around the room in all sorts of hiding spots, like he'd already done. And yet he didn't find anything. Huh? I had to hide my surprise. Dog didn't. At that point, he'd become openly suspicious of me, and yet, seemingly, my innocence was proven. So yeah, like I said a couple of times, I don't think Pig is here. Yeah, well, I must have read the room wrong. Sorry to waste your time like this. Pig must have made a wrong turn or something. Yeah, probably. Well, I guess we'll get back to looking around. You look after yourself, okay? Will do. Alright, Horse, we're done here. Okay. And just like that, the two left. I watched as they walked down the hallway, not looking back. What had happened? I was confused, to say the least. Man, Brewster can come in handy, man. The only answer I could think of lay in the first classroom, so I walked over to it. And sure enough, I saw Rooster standing there, a grin on his face. Ta-da! Rooster, what did you do? I simply followed through on your plan. My plan? Yeah. You led them into the classrooms in that order, and you kept talking like that. Listening in, at first I was confused, but then I realized you were signaling me to do what you were signaling me to do. First, I took 4 of those Hot Wheels cars and put them under 4 textbooks. Then I put Pig's body on the textbooks. Like that I could roll her around easy. When the 3 of you entered the second classroom, I made my move. Since they were afraid you might be a killer, Dog wanted Horse to stay with him at all times. And since they thought you were acting alone, they never thought about covering the hallway. I used the opportunity while they were in the second classroom to move Pig quickly from the third classroom to the first. And since you were talking so much, the sound of the Hot Wheels moving along the floor was covered up. Brilliant thinking, Mouse. Oh, thanks. Good on you for picking up on my plan. Hey, I might not be the smartest person around, but I can pick up things when you're putting them down. Anyway, what were we saying before this whole distraction? Tiger, right, yeah, she's an issue. It'd be best to get rid of the big threats like her and Horse as soon as we can. The only question is how. Indeed. Suddenly, pensive music began to play. What's that? I just thought we were having a brainstorming session. I'd set the scene. So I took out my MP3 player and turned on some jams. Why do you have an MP3 player with you? I don't know. Had it on me when I got kidnapped. Had it on me when I woke up. Doesn't really have any functionality other than playing music. Who has an MP3 player in this day and age? Mouse, are you here to figure out how to murder an Olympian, or are you here to be a judgy Jason? Because you can't be here for both. Okay, sorry. Didn't know it was a touchy subject. For the record, I find that music more distracting than anything else. Well, I like it. Okay then. At any rate, a head-on assault against Tiger is not going to work. She'll kick both our asses. Dude, we haven't taken a head-on assault approach yet, except against Bunny, who was tied up. However, she's pretty trusting. Maybe if I bring her into a classroom and you ambush her. I like it. I'm loving it. Ambush her with what? You need something deadly, like a knife or something, you know? Otherwise she'll kick our asses. Okay, we need to save and wrap this up again, because we're out of time again. Because this has turned into a big, long one, but we found so much information. I'm excited. I'm excited. We got Tiger's first initial and last name, and possibly she's a killer. We've got Ox's probable first name, Davis, and the fact that he's a tool. Thank you to the comments for that one. But yeah. And we got a couple of other names like Manuel Perez. I bet that's Bunny's name, but we don't know that for sure yet. And Jamie Wilbert, who we don't know who that is either. So we're getting there. We're getting there. But we'll see how this one goes in the next episode. Till then, guys, Juror, thanks for watching. Thanks again out for me, and I'll see you in the next one.